Good morning. It's the Smokin, Jeremy B. and Dan on Twitter. Let's talk a little bit about news. There's a couple of things to talk about. It's the Lions and of football. All right. How's everybody doing today? It's a fantastic Tuesday morning. It's great to be a Lions fan. How y'all feeling?
I don't know. Kind of soft and squishy.
Soft and squishy? I'm feeling hard and lumpy today. I did a lot of laundry over the evening, and no, I'm not talking about personal stuff.
Charles here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Meat Fat Bodies by Jeremy Holmes.
All right. Well, BradHolmes said on Monday that maintaining the O-line is the biggest priority this offseason, and I tend to agree. But we also have to do at least one swing for the fence. But the incredible shrinking cap strikes again. Another $1.5 million off the books. We are sitting at $46.1 million in cap room. That's $24 million after the draft signings. But yes, it is that time, and we got good morning Lions fans from Henry Gray, Rick Sakat. It's that time. Good morning, men. And of course, our buddy Donkey Kong, Super Bowl or bust kind of feeling over here. And Dan Campbell has said the same thing. We're going. He didn't say we're going to try. He said we're going to the Super Bowl this year. And I hope he's right. It's about damn time. That's all I got to say. Win or lose, that should be the goal. Get to the Super Bowl. Do you agree, Dan?
It would have just been easier for him to come out and say, "Hey, we're going to kick the ball this year."
Yeah, it would take a good kicker because he don't trust Patterson. He didn't trust Badgley. And the proof is we were over 75% in the regular season, and we ended up 2 for 4 in the postseason and going for it on fourth down because you can't trust these kickers outside. You can barely trust them indoors. That's just what I see. But Brent comes in. Good morning, all. Good morning, Von Doom and JB. Love you guys. Great to see you in the chat. So let's put it out there. Who are you resigning? The one-time All-Pro and often hurt this past year, Jonah Jackson, or the guy that played every game, was able to switch to center, be somewhat functional, Graham Glasgow. Who are you resigning out of those two?
That's all going to depend on what the price is for you, both of them. If I could get them both at like the exact same price, I would take Jonah just because of his age and upside. If Jonah's going to want like 2-3 million more than Glasgow, I'm going to take Glasgow all day.
And
taking the value pick.
Because if he wants his Pro Bowl value from the year before that he didn't live up to this year, I'm not paying that because a Pro Bowl guard is considered an elite starting guard. Anyone worth drafting that would be better? Yes,
Cooper
absolutely.
Beebe.
Cooper Beebe, that Jackson Powers Booth, who's actually an athletic center that could play guard. Because with Frank Ragnow saying he's not retiring and coming back, we could move him to guard and be the backup center at the same time. Or there's the guy that just broke his leg and is already walking and rehabbing from Michigan, Zach Zenter. Say what you want, Zach Zenter was a very good guard for Michigan. He did well in the passing game, and he excelled in the run game. Any one of those three I'd be okay with, and you could actually get Zenter in the 4th round, which is why a trade back out of the 1st might be a good move. Only reason, Von Doom, only reason. Breathe, Von Doom, breathe.
My man, I don't know why you want to fight so early in the morning.
Breathe. The amount of draft capital you got to give to move up, or the players you got to give up, does not benefit the team.
You can't only go through the draft. You have to make moves. You don't have the cap room to make the splash you need in the offseason. So you give up a little capital, move up, then let Jackass freaking trade some shit next year and get the capital back.
Or you make the one trade this year no one wants to hear.
No, we don't trade back.
No. I said we trade the one player no one wants to hear because it's the only one that clears enough cap. And we'd
I want to
probably
hear that trade.
and we'd probably get it because his trade value will never be higher than the last 2 years of play he gave the Lions. Say what you want. And I understand everybody is in love with Goff now, but last season everybody was talking about dealing him then when it would have saved $10 million. Now it saves 68% of his salary to trade him. We all know BradHolmes is good at the draft, but how will he do at re-signing our players? Well, the numbers guy is still here. So Matt Dunstall, the one that's worked wonders with the cap room. Right.
A fucking supermax.
A supermax? No. No. Good God, no. My head would explode. That'd be like us going, yeah, he's almost 40. Let's trade Cade Cunningham, Killian Hayes, all the guys that start on this roster and get LeBron James to the Detroit Pistons. That's as much sense as that supermax deal for Burrito Jones makes.
That would make more sense, actually, doing that with LeBron because you would get people to come there that would actually want to play.
So at 46 million, and it's anywhere between 16 and 18 million. So top end, we could have 25 million in cap room. Low end, we could have 23. So that's not a lot of cap room, which is leaning me away from signing a big D lineman and more towards signing a big corner because you'd have more money left to fill the roster. I'm not wrong, Von Doom. Unfortunately, I'm not.
Well, you right there, you said exactly why they should trade up in the draft because you don't have cap room. Make the goddamn move high enough and grab Kool-Aid, and then we don't have any more issues.
Or you trade back and you grab a plethora of players.
I don't think the team's that far from a Super Bowl contender.
We have 38 of our starting roster under contract. 38. We signed 15 futures contracts, so that's a total of 53. But you still need the 15 to have a actual starting roster, correct?
I don't think technically. You have those future contracts.
But they're not starting caliber players. I'm tired of rolling out there with practice squad guys. I'm tired of rolling out with second chance guys or prove it players. I'm sorry. We need at least one valid option in free agency. And I think cornerback is it. unless they're all tagged and go back to their teams, one of those top 4 guys even will be a free agent. I'm not trading for Marshawn Lattimore because you'd have to give up way too much to get him from the Saints to cover the cap room.
That, and I honestly feel Kool-Aid McKinstry will be a better quarterback than pretty much everybody that's in free agency. Will be cheaper per year on that rookie deal, and is very comparable to Patrick Surtain II.
I pray to God he falls. That's all I want. That's all I want. I want him to fall. It
I
was
just
weird.
want to move up.
Yeah,
I don't want to take a chance on it.
I know. But the seas have parted for every person I wanted to fall in the draft. The previous 2 years. Last year's I didn't have a dog that I absolutely had to have. You know what I mean? I didn't have that dog because I didn't get that vibe from the GM and I didn't get that vibe from the coach.
I had that guy we absolutely had to have last year. His name was Samuel fucking Porter.
Well, yeah, but that I'm talking about in the first round.
I said take him at 12, did I not?
You did. You did. But in all actuality, it worked out great because Gibbs and Laporta with Monty and Amon-Ra, that offense is pretty set. We really don't need a lot on offense. Maybe one big-bodied wide receiver that's a contested catch guy, and that's really all we need. Would you agree with that?
Hang on. Depends. They probably should, but I don't think you need them.
It makes for another red zone target other than a tight end is all I'm getting at.
You run the ball in the red zone. I don't care. You don't throw the ball in the red zone. God damn it. You don't give it to freaking Craig Reynolds either. You let Monty run it in.
Yeah, I know. That cost me. Oh, my God, that cost me that game. I'd have been sitting so pretty. We sit there and talk about it. I know. We had the same thing. We were like, oh, my God, everybody hit. Everybody hit. Craig Reynolds. What the fuck?
I wish I would have put Craig Reynolds on that parlay, though, because he was plus 8,000 to score a touchdown.
I know. Plus 8,000. So that $5 bet for 20,000 would have turned into 32,000 immediately.
The bastard.
Nobody.
It always seems to be the Lions that fuck up my parlays.
Hey, it screwed up mine too. But you know what? I'm not going to gripe because it was a good season.
I'll gripe about the one. That's all. That one hurt.
But with just those future contracts and all practice squad players, the only guy that has any professional experience really out of the restricteds and everything else is the guy we signed off of the Canadian Football League. And God, I can't remember his name for the life of me.
It wasn't Cam Wake.
No, it wasn't Cam Wake. Thank God. That guy's older than dirt. I thought I sent it into our show chat, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Shared media. There he is. Matthew Betts. He's had 25 sacks in the last 2 seasons, and 18 of them was last year. He was the CFL Player of the Year. That's who we picked up. So I got to look up his size real quick, and it's Matthew spelled the French way, M-A-T, like Tyler Matthew, the honey badger.
Holy shit!
What?
I just looked up over the cap, and I saw the Saints. They're $83 million over the cap. How the fuck does that happen?
Okay. Is there a Devin Weatherspoon in this year's draft? The closest will be Kool-Aid McKinstry. I'm not saying he will be Devin Witherspoon or Sauce Gardner, but he'll be right there in that conversation for a Rookie of the Year. He's 6'3", 250 pounds. He plays the defensive end and linebacker. He was voted the CFL's most outstanding defensive player award last year. He played with the Chicago Bears after being drafted in 2019 in the 7th round on a 3-year contract and was cut the following season. Went to the Edmonton Elks, which was a god-awful team, and then on the first day of free agency left in 2022 with the British Columbia Lions. So he's going from the British Columbia Lions to the Detroit Lions. So he's another guy that can play that Sam or Will outside linebacker and add that added pass rush from the outside. Yeah, so if Kool-Aid is even close to Devin Witherspoon, he won't be available. There's him, there's Quinion Mitchell. The guy we could probably get in the 2nd round, and that's depending on the combine. And he's a good zone corner. And seeing how we run 80% zone in the second half, but run 70% man in the first half, which screws up our corners in the first place.
Why do you have to bring this up again?
But I'm just being honest. We do this. This is what we do. It's what we've done every year. Or we'll start out and run 90% man for half a season and then go to 90% zone for the second half of the season and screw up the players that were playing good through a half.
Hence why Amani Warrior and Jeff Okudah are not on the team.
I think it was a mistake making Jeff Okudah the one. It ruined AO's confidence. He earned that one spot by being a top 5 corner the year before, and he was top 15 his rookie season. I don't understand why you messed that up in back-to-back years.
I don't know. Brent, here's the thing. Well, you're going to say even if he's close to Devin Witherspoon, he won't be there. What's going to get him to fall a little bit is people haven't got to see his athleticism because he is one of the most technically sound cornerbacks coming out of the draft in recent history. He's always in the right place, always does the right thing. He might not have the high top-end speed, but he is very smart. You have these other guys that are going to run better 40s and have a higher vertical. So there's probably 3 or 4 that may go before him in the first round. I think he falls into like the 20 to 24 range personally. That's why I keep saying they need to just move up a little bit and grab him if he's there. So where do you guys put Sweat compared to Jalen Carter?
They're not the same animal. He's a big body like Jalen Carter. He's like in between Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis as far as a big body. He'd be a great DT2 to sit next to Oline McNeil, which would make even our run game a better defense. There isn't. Hey, there's RXJ. That's my buddy from Twitter. We messaged after the show yesterday. Just talking about the Lions news, and there isn't a lot, but anytime there's something to say, I'm gonna put it out there.
Yeah, you can't compare anybody to Carter like that. Jalen Carter was one of those generational type talents. He's like a Warren Sapp, Aaron Donald type.
Yeah, but even with missing the game and then having Petrasha coach him for 7 games, he still managed to get 4th in the rookie voting.
Yeah, exactly.
Because after they went to that 3-3-5, they didn't start Carter. They started Davis.
Well, yeah, because he's a bigger body.
I understand that. RXJ says the Steelers cut some guys yesterday. Bust ass Trubisky is a free agent. That's Minnesota's next QB1 once Kirk leaves. You know what? That actually would make sense because they wouldn't have to spend a lot of money. He is a good pocket quarterback. They have a decent O-line. and Mitch Trubisky does good when the O-line's decent. The O-line was trash in Pittsburgh. I don't think until they fix that interior O-line, any quarterback's going to be good there. That's just my opinion because they let every single DT walk through that front line like it was an open door revolving.
Tracy Walker count for $12 million on the cap. Wow.
Yeah.
If you cut him though,
How much does it save?
5.5 mil.
The whole offense in Pittsburgh was horrible. The O-line and QB, slow running backs. Yeah. But you know what? Najee Harris did enough that he had an angry run award. I don't know how that they didn't give it to Monty. That's just me. That Monty run against San Diego was pretty massive. Or LA, excuse me. I forgot. They're not in San Diego anymore. They should have stayed in San Diego. They'd have more fans.
They're way over the cap too.
Yeah, I know. That's why you're going to see them trade Khalil Mack. They're going to be trading Joey Bosa. I don't think there's going to be. It's funny. I live a few blocks over from David Montgomery. Dude has massive hits, bro.
Why are you checking out a guy like that to know he has massive pits?
It's going to take a lot of money to get a guy like Hunter. He's going to be garnering almost the entire cap room we have. I don't know if we make that swing unless we move some guys. I mean, he just found 5 million we can clear right there. We might be able to restructure Decker. Ragnow's no pit bulls. Gotcha. Okay.
I know, man. I was being an asshole. John Kaminsky too. You can save money there.
What would it cost to go get Bosa? He's already on a second contract and he's making what is it, 27 million a year right now?
Give me a second. I will find out. Joey Bosa's cap number for this year was 36 million.
Yeah, we don't have it.
No.
Everybody forget that base salary versus cap hit is two different things in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that
Tracy
cap number.
Yeah, his cap hit, right?
Yeah, Kaminsky though. Ooh, cut Kaminsky. You take a freaking 1.7 dead hit, but you clear up 4.6. The one Aquara is gone, I believe.
Both Aquara should be gone. Julian, this is his last year was his last year of his contract.
Yeah, but if you cut Romeo, you take a 3.5 dead hit. You would take a 3.5 dead hit with no savings.
He's already gone. It's a void year.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
I thought Julian's was a void year.
No, Julian's was his rookie contract ended at the end of last season. That was his fourth year. Romeo Aquara is the void year because there's no roster bonus.
Gotcha.
Big V, he's got a void year. Charles Harris has a void year. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson has a void year. Graham Glasgow is a void year. So re-signing takes care of that void year. If you take care of Glasgow, that makes more sense to me. Emmanuel Mosley has a 1 million void year. I'm not re-signing him.
There's a couple of guys though, like Jake Funk, Dintane Mookie, Craig James. Practice squad guys clear up a couple million.
Well, only the top 51 count against the cap anyways. Those guys, once it's all said and done, anybody that's making less than 1.5 million rarely counts against the cap. So the ones that clear the most so far is Tracy Walker,
Frank Kaminsky,
John Kaminsky,
John Frank, same thing.
and much I hate to say it, boys, Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm.
Decker is the restructure. I don't mind restructuring him, and you can make it so that extra year you go in as a void year. You could probably clear up another 5 to 7 million right there to get Tracy Walker. There's another 5 million. I say trade Tracy Walker. Take whatever you can get for him. Put him on the trade block. Don't say you plan on cutting him. Don't let that leak out. Don't let Adam Schefter report it because that has screwed us on every guy we put on the trade block before.
I don't know about all that, saying that Romeo was going to leave. You guys had Julian before you had Romeo. Romeo was signed off the Giants when we released him.
No. We signed him before we got Julian.
I don't think so.
Better go look. We had him for 3 years. We re-signed him the year after we drafted Julian. He was here for 3 years before that because we traded for peanuts, or we poached him off your practice squad. Better look because he played beside Snacks Harrison that year.
What year was Julian drafted?
2019.
Okay, you might be right. Because they claimed him off of the waivers on September 5th, 2018.
Yeah. And 2020 was Romeo Aquara's only great deal a year. If Julian's not here, Romeo won't come back. Watch. He's going to go wherever his brother goes. Teddy Bridgewater's on a void year. Emmanuel Mosley. So according to Over the Cap, right now, I'm on spot track. No wonder why it looks different. I hate this one. I like Over the Cap because it just puts the cap space up at the top. Makes it a lot easier. 46.138386. They both can walk. Been hurt and mid. I'm good on that. Think about it. We paid 2 years for a guy that played 4 games. Laughing my fucking ass off. The Aquaras will never play again. You may be right, but they're going to push for that. Our dead money on the cap is only 1.4, but you add in all those void rosters, plus all of the incentive bonuses in the rookie and the veteran contracts. That's why I said the incredible shrinking cap continues. All those void years just hit because our season's done. As soon as the Super Bowl was over, all that stuff started going bam, 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 and hitting the cap. They were listed the entire time, but they didn't. RXJ and Bob Quinn special. They can both walk, or should I say they can both hobble away. Yeah, that's about right. But I said immediately when we re-signed Okwara, that was the reason why we couldn't re-sign Marvin Jones Jr. and Matt Prater, which would have been more to that team in 2021 than what Romeo Okwara ever provided. Because even a half-assed Marvin Jones Jr. in 2021 would have been better than a Romeo Okwara who went out after one game in 3 quarters, and then didn't come back till 10. Start calling Julian Peggy. He gonna need a walker. Oh, that's bad, but it's funny. Yep, Marvin was still producing in 21 and 22. 23 is where he fell apart, and that was due to personal issues. He did not lose a child in 2023. His child passed away in 2019, where he was a consummate professional and stayed on the field till the very last game of the season.
I
Say
told
what
you what I thought. My thought was that whole situation seemed like some marital problems at home could have been going on.
Yep. Hey, I agreed with you in the chat. As the missus was messing around with the pool boy.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever he's going through, hats off to him, and my prayers are with him because marital strife, family issues, that all comes first. Family, faith, football, in that order. Whether you're a player or a fan, that's the way it should be.
100%. Oh, I got a question for you. I wanted to ask you this last night, but it completely slipped my mind until just now. So when if Baltimore is actually a team of their word, do you go and sign Zay Flowers in free agency this year when they cut him?
Oh, is Dave Flowers as a free agent under a rookie cap deal? Hell yeah. He was a badass.
He was, but he's got 2 domestic violence charges on him right now, cases.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't know that.
That's why the Ravens would be getting rid of him, because they have a 0 tolerance on that after Ray Rice knocked that chick the fuck out.
So we're complaining that we got 38 guys on the roster. And we got 46 million in cap room minus the rookie salary cap. So we got 23 to 25 million. The next year, it's even less on the roster.
A lot less on the roster.
We have like 15 guys active, but that's not including who we resigned this year. So that doesn't count against it. That clears up $159 in cap room. We can go sign anybody we friggin' want with 140 million. Faith, I'm on the wrong podcast. You know, faith has nothing to do with religion or politicians. Faith has to do with belief in anything. Everybody believes in something. You all worship something, one way or another, whether it's your family, the person you love, the God you worship, or the thing you worship, or money, or your football team. That is what faith is talking about. Everybody believes in something. It's not my job to tell you what to believe in.
Facts.
Everybody has faith in something. It could even be faith in your job, faith in your work ethic. It could be faith in life in general, faith in karma. We need to lock St. Brown up this year so next year it's not an issue. School, we can wait till next year to do because we can accept the 5th-year option, which that date's coming up shortly. We should know something about that soon. And I'm quite sure you're going to hear that happens real soon.
Mm-hmm. I honestly, man, I don't see how to keep Goff and keep the core of this team together.
Neither do I. And I've said this repeatedly. You know, and I agree with the numbers that Mike spit out there. But at the same time, I don't agree at the cost of the core of the team.
I agree with that. And where is Goff given any indication that he'll take a deal that's that low? Nowhere.
Right. Because the rumor has been that it's been 45 to 50 plus the entire time. So that means 46.2 would be the low end of that, right?
Close. I'd rather keep the core than Goff because there is no Goff without that core. 100%.
In all off season last year, and I'm going to repeat what I saw from fans in every Lions chat out there before this season was played. I think you can put any QB behind this O-line and they'll be good. It's what was said. I can go back and bring up all the posts where everybody was saying it. It wasn't just one or two fans. I'm talking about pages where they had thousands of fans, and it was over 60% of those fans would say something like that. So if by re-signing Goff, it costs you re-signing Penei Sewell in 2025, are you going to
Fuck
be
no.
okay with that? If it costs you re-signing Hutchinson in 2026,
The smart answer would be no, but I don't like Hutch, so I don't really care about that so much.
and yes, I remember fans were saying that in MCDC all year last season, and they all wanted Willis a couple of years ago, and now they're silent. Absolutely. The Willis fans got shut up real quick the first time he started a Tennessee Titans game. I will say that right now because he proved everything that we said about his draft profile was right.
Mhm.
I said he wasn't worth a seventh round pick, let alone a third. I thought the Titans made a huge mistake. They could have had him as a UDFA.
Somebody would have drafted him.
I know because at the combine they overhyped that arm strength. Oh my God, look at that cannon. He just overthrew him a little bit. Oh, that one was just a little bit underthrown. Oh, that one was just a little bit to the right. That one was just a little bit to the left. It could have been thrown in the stands. Oh, look at the arm strength on that guy. I hate to say the word because it's overused, but Sewell is generational. You can't let him walk. Absolutely. And for where he was drafted, St. Brown was the steal of the 2021 draft. I don't care what anybody says.
Homer.
You wish you'd have grabbed him for the Giants, that your GM would have drafted him.
No, I don't actually. You know why? He'd
Oh,
be
because
fucking wasted.
that or he'd make Daniel Jones better and you'd be paying him more.
Either that or he'd have no fucking knees.
Will there be hooker packages this season? Who knows? All I know is that our offense was top 10 to top 5 in every quarter but the third. It was 20th. Our defense was middle of the road, right where we said we wanted them to be, except the third quarter, we were dead last. Unless those two things get fixed, it's going to be a long season in 2024. That's all I got to say. I hope there are some Hendon Hooker packages as well. And people who think you're going to trade away a third round pick in the second year of his contract and eat a $5 million dead cap over what he makes, you guys are a special kind of unintelligent. Maybe play Hooker in the third quarters. Believe it or not, Goff didn't throw a lot of interceptions then. We just did not get first downs. It was our lowest first down production, our lowest point production, our lowest our highest scoring against per quarter. It was insane. It's mind-boggling how bad the third quarter was all season long. It wasn't just one game or two games here and there. I think even the Ravens put up like 14 points in the third quarter of that game. 18 Michigan players invited to the combine. That's a record. 2020 LSU had 16. Go blue. Hey, that's great. I'm glad they're going to be there because it's going to expose who's good and who's not. That's all I got to say, RXJ, because there's a lot of Michigan players who aren't invited to the combine who get drafted and then bust out. But at the same time, there has been a misclaimer about the Michigan players. Michigan players have had 130 play in the Super Bowl. It's actually 99 because you forget that 13 of them was Tom Brady. Just saying. And then there was all the guys that played in multiple ones. They weren't counting individuals, they were counting how many players that said they were from the School of Michigan and played in a Super Bowl. Charles Woodson played in 3. Good lord. I'd say about half of them will be studs. Michigan will continue putting out elite D-line talent. I don't know if that happens anymore because they just lost their D-line coach to the Chargers. Wink Martindale is going to do a better job with the linebackers than the D-line because he turns the D-lines into run stuffers and makes the linebackers the star of the show. Just ask Van Doom. He watched his defense there. He goes zero blitz, which means all your guys are there on the D line for is to eat up blocks, and it'll freeze up your linebackers to do the blitzing. And it requires a very strong secondary to stop anything through the air.
You'll probably develop a good nose tackle. And probably give up 400 passing yards a game.
We hired Scruggs, Wisconsin D line coach, but we hired Wink Martindale as defensive coordinator. That's what I'm getting at. That's what his scheme does. So I want to see what happens. I don't want to say Michigan's going to be elite because I'm a realist, not a homer. I'm trying to be realistic about everything here and just give my honest opinion. It might be good for another year and a half, 2 years, but after Harbaugh's recruiting class goes and we see how Sharon Moore recruits, that's when you're really going to be able to judge him as a head coach. Yeah, 9-3.
That's what I predicted.
Just beat Ohio State and Michigan State, and I'm good. Yeah, that has to continue because I'll tell you what, Sharon Moore is not the main guy. He's a product of the main guy. And if he starts losing to our rivals, they're not going to handle that very well. We lost a lot of talent. What was it? 28 players we lost to the transfer portal plus the draft combined?
Oh, no, dude, it was more than that.
No, it was 28. It was 28. 28 total. Which made us think, hey, maybe Harbaugh said something to the team and he's going to stay. And then 2 weeks after the transfer portal was done, boom, he's gone. So any Giants news out there today on Doom? Nothing. Nothing worth reporting, huh?
No, everything is still just rumors about frickin' Barkley. He wants to stay. They want him to stay. He's ready to go. They're probably going to let him go.
Out of the 18, 16 of them were seniors and 12 of them were early draftees that left. That's what it was. And don't forget to go out and get your poochkies. It's Fat Tuesday. Mardi Gras starts this week, right now.
Ooh, so boobies.
Yep, time to go watch the street cams in New Orleans tonight.
Ooh.
Bless you.
Street cams in New Orleans. Motherfucker, that's brilliant.
Got to see if there's any businesses that have open links to their security cameras. Wow. Did you lose brain cells on that one? That looked violent.
I'm not gonna lie, that's like I legit felt my brain hit my skull.
It looked really violent from here. I'm glad you muted it. Will Vogel, BCP's in the chat. What's up? Well, it's that time. Talk about our favorite sponsors. You know who that is. That's FTP. I wish I had a screenshot for it. But until I get one, this one's good. Much butter. I sent it you. Cry like bitch you should. Can I get an FTP in the chat out there? What's that FTP stand for?
Fuck the Packers.
That's what I thought. Every day of the week, especially on Fridays, though, because Fridays are before the game days of the weekend. There they all come. FTP, FTP. Rich J says, great impression. And the other sponsor that actually pays the bill, Glasgow, the best window tinter in Saginaw, is voted through the Better Business Bureau and reports from consumers as well as his compatriots that were competing against him. 989-443-9240 if you want to get your windows tinted. He is in Michigan. That is the Tri-Cities. Best up there. Give him a call. Schedule it today. Tell him Smokin' Jeremy B sent you. That way I can get another year out of him. And he also does auto detailing too. He cleans up the whips and makes them look great. And you know what's really good about having tinted windows? When that sun's out, you don't have your ass getting fried right to the leather or the pleather, depending on the quality of car. That 300 C class was dope when he did it when I was there working with him. It has been a great day talking a little Lions football. If there's Giants news, Leonard will let it out there because you know what? I like growing the fan base. I like spreading out to other teams. That's why tomorrow night at 9:30 we have the NFL roundtable talk. And our XJ says, "Yeah, no more swamp ass from the heat."
That's why you have seats that have air conditioning in them. It is the most beautiful thing in the world.
Oh, it is. It is. It's wonderful. Heated and cooled seats are amazing. But if you've ever lived in Florida in the summertime, every car gets tinted down there, even the ones that come straight off the dealership, because otherwise, it doesn't matter if it's cloth seats, you're sticking to it, you're sweating so bad. It's been a great day talking football with everybody. I hope everybody tries every day to be a better person than they were the day before. It's the only way to make the world a better place. Wind up the ass or reverse fart, some would say.
Hey man, if you like that. Oh, here, I did have a giant news for you. OC Umanura came out and said that if he would have been on a team and Travis Kelce would have pulled that shit with fucking Tom Coughlin, he said he probably would have fucking killed him right there on the spot.
Yeah, Tom Coughlin would have just grabbed Plaxico Burress's gun and shot him.
Well, yeah, you got to keep that gun away from Cheddar Bob anyway.
Right. Come on, that was a good comeback on that one. You love it, don't you?
Yo, dude, it pisses me off so much. We would have went back to back that next year if he didn't shoot himself.
I had a friend that's a bigger guy, and his nickname was he was so big that his nickname was Hoss, like in Bonanza. He was that big of a guy where he stood like head and shoulders above everybody. And he was trying to pick on me, and he got mad at me because I said a joke back. Because I sat there and said, "Well, at least I'm not so fat my ass has to take a breath before I fart."
RJX, you should see when it gets me upset about something or when Will makes a smart ass comment and then I have to go off.
Oh, you know what? I believe in making people laugh. You know what? It's way more fun to make people laugh with you than have them laughing at you. It's the way to negate a lot of bullying online or in person because you just come back with a joke. That's it. Come back with a joke. Make them laugh. That usually stops it all. It also stops most fights.
So does not giving a fuck.
Yeah, not giving a fuck is even better yet. Because when they come at you, I want to fight, you just punch them in the throat and walk away.
Hit him with that 2-piece and a biscuit. Jab cross, boom, boom.
I still can't wait to be there looking at that draft stage. This is just an artist rendering, but it's going to be cool as fuck.
That artist made that shit on Minecraft or Roblox.
But you know, it's time to get that vibe going as we exit out the show.
Just say you're packing heat. That's a good way too.
My pleasure talking Lions with everybody in the chat. If you want to bring up other news from other teams that you follow as well, that's fine too. I will address them in 2 seconds. Starting next Wednesday, we are going to do an area of division. Like next week on Wednesday, we're doing the AFC and NFC West mock draft. All 4 teams in one draft. So this week is research what they need and just go off of a strictly need-based draft. And we're going to do that going west, south, then we're going to skip and watch the combine. And then the next week we're going to do the east, and then lastly, the north. Then after the schedule release, we will do our division previews with the window of wins for each team in each division in the same order. AFC, NFC West, AFC, NFC South, AFC, NFC East, ending with AFC, NFC North. Just say you're packing heat, and that's a good way to. Not if they actually bring a gun. A lot of people actually pull it when you say those words are RXA. But thank you for watching, everybody. Peace, love, and chip grease.